Alrighty, these are going to be our slope-intercept form notes. Alright, so linear equations are frequently written in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. Alright, where m is the slope, okay, go ahead and label that real quick. M is the slope. Alright, and b is the y-intercept. So b is the y-intercept. Alright, get in the habit of labeling everything. So the directions say, give the slope and y-intercept of the line, or given the slope and y-intercept of the line. Write the equation in slope-intercept form. So on number 1, it says slope equals 2. So I know that slope is my m, and then it says the y-intercept is equal to -1, which is my b. Then from there, I just plug it in to my equation. So I have y equals, instead of m, I'm going to write 2x. Then I have my plus b. So I'd plug in my -1 there. All right, I look at number 2. Slope is -3/5, so I plug that in front of x. Okay, our slope is always attached to x there. And our y-intercept goes by itself without an x. All right, so now let's go ahead and look at number 3. I know that this -3 represents m, and that this +2 here represents my b. All right, so now I've got to write my equation. I get y equals, I have m, which is my slope, so I get -3. All right, my x comes next, and then I just write my +2 there, because my b goes at the end without a variable of x there. All right, I'm going to do number 4 as well. So m is going to be -1, and my y-intercept here is going to be b, which is 7. All right, so I get y equals, because for slope-intercept I always have y equals, then m, which is my -1, okay, I then write my x, and then I have my y-intercept, which is a +7, so I just write +7. All right, plugging in that information that it gives me there. All right, now let's go and look at the bottom. You can finish 5 and 6 on your own, get some little practice problems there. All right, at the bottom it says directions, identify the slope and y-intercept of the line on the graph. Then write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. Okay, as you can see here, I'm missing some of my lines. It's a little hard to tell. All right, the printer kind of messed that up. So try your best on this. All right, so from these points that I have here, all right, I go up 1, 2, 3, which is my rise. We have to remember slope is going to be rise over run. All right, so I went up 1, 2, 3. All right, so on top, my rise is 3. Then I moved over 1. So on bottom, my run is going to be 1. Well, when I plug that into a calculator, I get 3 divided by 1, which just gives me 3 there. All right, so my slope is going to be 3. Then my y-intercept, okay, that's going to be this point where my line crosses my y-axis. All right, so my y-intercept is this point right here. So my y-intercept, if I go from my origin, always start at the origin, I go down 1, 2, 3, and 4. So when I go down, it's going to be a -4. All right, I put my two pieces of information together similarly to what we did up there. So I have y equals, my 3 is my m, okay? Remember, it's mx plus b. So my 3 is my m, my x is just written in, and then my -4 was my y-intercept there. All right, I'm going to do number 8 as well. I'm going to draw that little line in there. All right, so we've got to first find the slope. Once again, I've got rise over run. Okay, what I like to do is draw the triangle. All right, that was done for us on this last one. So I draw my triangle. All right, connecting those two different points. Then I go up, or I'm technically going down, sorry. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so I've gone down, which is going to be -6. All right, this is nice negative. All right, if you know who slope dude is. All right, nice negative. So my slope should be negative. Then I've got to count how many I go over. I go over 1, 2, 3, 4. So divided by 4 there. All right, so I get negative 6 over 4. I can plug that into my calculator. Okay, I see that I get a decimal there, so I hit math. All right, where it gives me the option to turn into a fraction. I hit enter, enter, and now I get that negative 3 over 2. It's now simplified. So this is going to be equal to negative 3 over 2. All right. Then I've got to go find my y-intercept. Remember, that's this point right here where my line crosses my y-axis. All right. So from the origin, all right, my 0, 0 point, my center point, I go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So my y-intercept is plus 7. Alrighty. So then from there, now I've got to write my equation. So I get y equals, then I have my slope, which we just said was negative 3 over 2. Then I fill in my x. Then it says plus b, all right? That's going to be my y-intercept there. So I just write plus 7. All right. So that is 2 examples done for you, 3 and 4, and then 7 and 8. All right, on the next page, all right, you should have plenty of other examples to work on, okay? On my copy, you can see I wrote M and B on all of these, all right? That way I'm clearly identifying those. I'm writing them down, okay? My advice would be to do the same thing. You can see on number 13, okay, I did that on this one. I connected my triangle there. I showed that I went down 8 over 4. Okay, I showed my work. I went down 8 over 4, which simplified down to negative 2. So my slope here was negative 2. Then my y-intercept, I went down from the origin 1, 2, 3 to get to this point. So I have negative 3. So I plug everything in. Y equals negative 2, which is my slope, x, and then that negative 3, which is my y-intercept. All right? So you need to complete 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, and 16, and then number 5 and 6 on the front page. All right? You also have a practice homework that you can do on this. All right? Try your best.